All right, first step, Sacred Heart CNC. It's a Tormach PCNC 440. First step to turn it on is down below here. We have a power bar. I will remove this zip tie because it's a little bit sharp. So the first step is you turn the power bar on. Then come around over to this side of the machine and turn the main power on. And then once the screen comes on, it will eventually show the next step. So once you're at this home screen, your next step is, you can see that reset is flashing. It wants you to turn that on. So before that, over here you have an e-stop. So you rotate the red knob so that it comes out clockwise. Then push the green button, it should light up. Then you can click on reset. Your next step is to home all the axes. So we start with, and I'll show you the machine moving. So we start with Z, then Y, then X. And the table, I may not catch it. Oh, it's just moving slowly. There we go. So the machine moves and confirms that all of the axes, or all the axis limit switches have been touched. So now we're at the home screen, the machine is turned on. Your next step is to load a program. So this program that's in the middle of being made right now is a keychain. It looks something like this. You'll be able to choose different text. It's just one of the examples. So if we go to File, on this side, you have programs that are in the machine ready to go. And on this side, you have programs that are stored on USB key. So anytime we have a new program, we want to click on the program and hit copy. It'll bring it over to here. It's already on this side, so I'll click over right. And then I can double click on the program from this left side bar and it'll load. So now we have a set of code ready to go to run in the machine. So to change a tool, because periodically you have to switch tools in the machine. For now we have just 1 through 6 populated. All these empty tools will slowly get filled and added. If you take a tool that doesn't have a number, you're putting a tool in the machine that the machine has not yet been set up to run. So 1 through 6 are ready to go. 6 is currently in the spindle. I'm going to show you how to remove a tool. So to do that, this drawer will get organized over time, but for now it's pretty simple. You need this 13mm wrench, this rubber mallet, and that's it. That's all we need to change a tool. So we'll take the wrench and the hammer and put them up on top of the machine enclosure for now. I'm not the tallest, so I use this small stool. It makes the job a little bit easier until there's maybe a power drawbar installed. So up here, you have this latch. So you open up the latch, you move the cover out of the way, and then you have this arm that can move. So you align that arm so it locks and holds the center of the spindle still. This makes it a one-handed operation. So you can put the wrench on and crack the tool just a little bit loose. Now, inside of the machine, you have to be holding the tool holder once you do this. So I have to hold here where there's no cutting edge, because as we loosen that bar, this tool will want to draw. And if we let this fall and hit the table, it'll wreck the tool, and they're very expensive. So you have to be cautious. So I hold the tool, I loosen this off 3 or 4 turns, take the rubber mallet, give it a tap, and then that loosens the tool. It comes out of the spindle, looks like this. So this cutting edge, you don't want to touch with your hand. You want to hold the tool in between this area here. That's a safe place to hold it. To load a tool in, it goes back in pretty much the reverse order. So I just took tool number 6 out. We're going to put tool number 3 in. So I take tool number 3, I hold in this area because this part will go into the spindle, so you can't hold on to that. And we don't want to touch the cutting tip so that we don't risk cutting ourselves. So it goes in the machine like that. Hold it up firm and in place. And then you can spin down the threaded drawbar as tight as you can by hand. I'm still holding the tool down below. And then with this wrench, the 13 millimeter, you can tighten that up. We'll probably add a torque wrench to this at some point so that we don't have to guess, and we can make sure that it's always tightened the correct amount. So then the cover, I just push down a little tiny bit so it lines up, and then the latch goes over. So a few operations have already been completed with tool number 6. Now tool number 3 is switched and been installed. You always want to try and aim the air blast so that it's going to point directly as the cutter as it comes down to machine the part. So if you need to adjust this spindle after the program is started, wait for a retract so the cutter is not touching the workpiece, and then you come over here to where it says RPM, and you can tap the spacebar on the keypad. That will pause the machine. The machine will no longer move. Make sure the cutter is not touching any work. Then you can zero the RPM. When you zero it, the spindle will stop, and then you can adjust the air so that it's blasting correctly at the spindle without any risk of your hands being inside the machine while it's running.